Hello everyone, this is Charlotte and this is a podcast called Chatting in Cars. This is where I talk about random topics pulled out of a hat or from a post-it note or out of the air randomly. There's a disclaimer at the start of this podcast because I do talk about some sensitive topics and I do swear a lot. I'm unforgiving with my swearing. I'm not going to apologise for that. I enjoy doing it and it's fun. This is 2023. So I've got 9 more podcasts to go, and then I'm going to change my format for these podcasts. If you have been listening or following any of the bullshit I've been talking about, it's interesting because I've actually grown a little bit annoyed with hearing my own voice at the start. Every time I hear that, this is Charlotte. It's getting nauseating, so I'm going to change that. I'm hoping you guys have had a great new year. I have so far, aside from my sister. This one's called the New Year's Update, so basically let's get on board with what happened over the big chunk of time I took off to deal with my sister and Christmas and all the other weird shit that happens for everyone else. I hope you all had a great Christmas. I don't celebrate Christmas. Well, I do and I don't. I do and I don't. For me, everything's about food. So I ate the Christmas food. I ate the Christmas food at the end of November, to be honest. So my Christmas was generally just chilling and trying to get to the beach or something like that because I live in Australia. So other than that, I've had my sister over since I think about the 4th of December, which has been challenging to say the least. If you listen to the guests podcast I did earlier, I was anticipating her arrival/attack. I haven't seen her in 4 years, so I was looking forward to her coming over just because, it's your little sister. You want to catch up and see how she's going, make sure everything's all right, sort of thing, right? She's really irritating. I didn't realize that until I had to live with her for an extended period of time. My parents had this big idea that, if she came back from the UK and she lived in Australia again, she would be living with me apparently because, I'm divorced and I have no one to live with, so I apparently need someone to live with. My parents are nuts. My sister and I are polar opposites. Polar opposites. She is very confident, very loud, free-spirited kind of... essentially, she's a teenager. She's a 35-year-old teenager, and it drives me fucking nuts. As soon as she arrived, her suitcase exploded, and just, it went downhill from there, sort of thing. And she's constantly in the mood to go out for tea in restaurants and shit like that. And I understand it because she's on holiday. But I'm not on holiday. I'm technically on holiday, but I'm not on holiday. I'm on working holiday. So whatever I'm not, whenever I'm not running errands or cleaning the house or some shit like that, I'm actually working on my businesses or like this, doing my podcast. When I finally broke up from teaching this term, I'm like, great, I can get down and start working on my businesses at a greater speed and develop my empire a bit more. But she's like, let's go out for tea. Are you coming for a walk? You want to come out to dinner with my friends? It's like, no, because I wouldn't anyway, because I don't know your friends and I find it incredibly uncomfortable. But, the offer was made and I said, no. I'm very much a introvert. It could be the autism, it could be just enjoying my own company, being a Sigma, I don't know, but I just prefer to be on my own. I can tolerate one other person provided they are similar to me, but having my sister as a polar opposite of me is frustrating. I found myself getting a bit short and sharp with her because she's, how do I put this gently, she's disgusting. She is a teenager. She's not a teenager, she's 35, but she acts like a teenager. I didn't know 35-year-old women had pubes that long, and I keep finding them all over my bathroom, man. I'm sitting there going, what the fuck? And where did this come from? Last time I saw something like this, I was living with a man with a beard. It's like, what the fuck, dude? Clean your shit up, woman. You're a woman, for God's sake. Come on. We don't do this, do we? Ew. But she's a bit of a grub. Her life just explodes into my apartment, and it's like, oh, for fuck's sake. Okay, so I'm constantly going around picking up after her, and I shouldn't, because there's only 2 years between us, and if I can handle it, she can handle it, and it's Jesus boy. But she's not mastered the art of adulting, or maybe it's just my OCD, I don't know. But she's introduced me to new foods, which I'm, you know, salad, which is funny considering I'm a vegetarian, but you know, surely I should know what this is. What is this? Ugh. And I've learned how to, you know, shave zucchini, apparently, to add it to salad. So I'm like, oh yay, achievement unlocked. I now know a bit more of useless information, but okay. She's very artsy. So everything we've been doing, she's taking a camera out. So we go out for like a drink, not a drink really, we don't drink, but, well, she does sometimes, but I don't. We go out for like a food. Every time, oh Christ, she's of that generation. I say that generation, it's only 2 years different. But she has to take pictures of her food. And I'm going to do a podcast about the Instagram generation. But not all of us are part of that generation. Some of us look at it and go, can I just fucking eat now? Because I hate waiting as it is. But every time we sat down in the cafe or something to eat, she's sitting there eating after she's taken this artistic picture that apparently needs to take 10 minutes to do. She's trying to get me involved in that. I'm like, I feel like a tosser doing this, dude. I'm not going to take pictures of my food, okay? It's very pretty, and it's very pretty so you'll want to eat it. But given the price, I'm not convinced this is, you know, picture-worthy. Yeah, but she's into that. So I guess it's a hobby. And she is a professional photographer. So, by, you know, uni degree. So I suppose she has to find an outlet for it somewhere. I think honestly she works in property management for some company over in England, so I don't know. You know, like tenant problems, rentals. So she's got to find some outlet for it. But the more I've spent time with her, the more I am realizing we are polar opposites. It's like, it's a bit of a strain. So that's my guest's update. She's leaving next Thursday, I think. So, oh, thank God my routine's going to get back to what it was. Everything went up in the air. You can't do that to an autistic person, dude. You can't just introduce new elements that have multiple facets like that. I need to take things one thing at a time. If there's a change, it needs to be a small change so I can get used to it, and then I bring on the next change. And I was like, I don't mind change. I don't entirely embrace liking it. But, oh Christ, she came over and it was like a fucking whirlwind. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Everything went all over the place. My food went out the window. My cleaning schedule went out the window. If I'd have been, I was working actually. I was working for the first 2 weeks of a holiday, so at least that was rigid. You know, I know I had to be somewhere and I had to get ready for work, but my sleeping schedule was off because she's taken my bedroom, and oh Christ, crazy. And she has very irritating habits, like eating all the time, all the fucking time. Loudly, like a horse. Have you ever heard a horse chew? It could be me being, you know, sound sensitive, but I don't know. It's got some fucking resonance to it, that girl. I don't know how she's doing it. She's made an echo with her jaw. Her mouth's closed, thank God. But the chomp echoes. I'm going, how the fuck are you doing that? It's like Freddie Mercury levels of resonance. How are you doing that? And then I made the mistake of switching from buying apples to carrots, which are harder and crunchier. And I'm like, fuck, I wish I hadn't done that. Because now she's eating the carrots non-stop. It's like, ah! And she sits behind me while I'm trying to work. And she's chewing and she's on her phone. And then she starts playing music on her phone because she's watching Instagram reels. And I'm like, dude, I'm trying to work. Oh, siblings. Why are they so fucking annoying? And I got short with it there. I'm like, right, can you just go in the next room because I'm trying to do this. And I was trying to upload a bunch of stuff to my worksheets, teachers' resources website. So it was important stuff. That is my income she's fucking with by distracting me. But I understand she's on holiday. I'm trying to take it a bit more softer approach, but she is fucking irritating. Little sisters, the siblings are so fucking annoying. It doesn't change. You think because you grow up and you grow out of house and you leave the house, then it's going to be easier because you're all adults now and you've all got your own life paths and you're going to respect each other a bit more. But you get back together and you're like, fuck, I forgot how annoying you were. Jesus. There's been some laughs. We have a similar sense of humour. Some weird shit sense of humour stuff. My brother and I got better sense of humour together. But my younger sister's alright. My older sister is like, meh. Yeah, no. I'm renaming this one the guests update because I know I've got New Year's resolutions I want to talk about in the next podcast. But yeah, no, it's non-compatible. So I couldn't do it. I would lose my shit. And it's only a 1-bedroom apartment as well. So I'm sleeping in the front room. Essentially, what is the front room? Next to the kitchen. And it's just, no. No, you are not living with me full time. I can't do this. I need my space. At the moment, she's currently with my my older sister down in Bridgetown, which is like a country kind of, I want to say pothead kind of area, but there's a lot of, you know, hippie people out there. She's only there for a couple of days and then she's going off to some friend's place. But my older sister's been a bit of a pain in the ass because she's a bit of a simp to her husband. The days were set, and now this is me getting narky about people changing plans. I don't like people changing plans. I can understand that things need to be adapted because that's the autism, that's the conditioned response. You know, things, you have to recognize that things need to be adapted, can be changed. You have to go with the flow. That's what they keep telling me. It's like, stop getting so set in your rigid routines. And I'm like, I know, but this doesn't make sense to me that we're changing this now. It's like, why? That could be OCD as well. It's like, you made a plan, stick to it. But my sister swapped it out. She kept cutting down the time she was going to spend with my older sister. And that got up my ass, to be honest. Because I was getting used to the idea of, okay, right, she's leaving on this date, I can have this much time to myself to just do me. And there's going to be quiet in the house, and there's going to be dull lighting, and it's going to be nice and chill. Because my sister loves bright lighting room, and she likes making lots of noise, and banging around, and being fucking near me. It's like, you need to leave now. I'm not your fearless leader. Leave me alone. Stop following me around. I just want to spend time with you. I'm concentrating on one thing at a time. Let's focus on that, okay? I need to concentrate on one thing at a time. Can't you do both? No. No, because it's overdoing it, and I will lose my shit if you don't leave me to concentrate on one thing at a time. No, I understand that she wanted to spend time with you. She's a friendly girl. She really, yeah. Most of the time she was bitching about other people, but you know. But my older sister changed the dates that she could stay with it because, you know, some appointments or some shit came up. And I'm getting narky at my older sister now because she said that she would be coming down for this many days, and now it's shortened. And I'm just, at this point, both of us are just looking at my older sister like going, you bitch. Partly because I'm like, you said you would take this teenager off my hands, and you didn't. I would be a terrible parent, I think. I'd be constantly trying to escape them. I don't know. Especially if they were sort of teenage age. I'd be like, I'm constantly trying to escape these buggers. Probably why I didn't have kids. Well, there are many reasons why I didn't have kids. That's one of them, I suppose. I don't have the patience anymore to be dealing with, oh, hello, motorbikes, with that kind of stuff on my day off unpaid. So that's why I didn't want to be a parent. I know it's a lot of hassle, it's a lot of stress, it's a lot of push to stay calm when realistically you want to lose your shit. I know that much because I'm a teacher. I've got it in the classroom 30 to 1. I admire people that can teach and then have kids at home as well. I'm like, how the fuck? Unless you're like a glutton for punishment. I don't know how they do it. I don't. It would be insane. And what if they're like really asshole little kids? It's like, wow. No, don't be mean. I'm not going to be mean. People have their own choices to make. We're all living our own life journeys. If you choose to have kids, that's your gig, man. I opted out. I unsubscribed to the ovarian cycle theme. I went on the pill from a very young age. Although it didn't really help me. I had 2 accidental conceptions and miscarriages, so oh well. You do what you can. But, you know, I was just annoyed because she kept changing the plan as well. It's like, you said you would do this. Do it. It's like, no, I'm going to change it. It's going to change it. And you don't realize how self-serving some family members can be. Because I thought we would all sort of pitch in and Leisha could... yeah, my sister's name is Leisha. Or is it? I don't know. These are all aliases. They said she could stay at her house, and we're trying to break up the time so she gets an even stay at everyone's house, and there's no burden on one person having to, use all the resources and stuff like that. We tried to break it up evenly, but Christ, some people just get up their own arse. I get really selfish because Laura was meant to take her for, a week, and now it's 2 days, and I'm like, you bitch. Stop changing the plan. Stop escaping your responsibilities. I'm trying to escape my responsibilities. You take her. It's just your responsibility. Oh my God, we're bad parents now, aren't we? Oh my God. But no, it's a lot of stress and strain on me, and I'm footing the bill, and I'm going, Jesus Christ, and I'm putting up with her shit whilst I'm trying to work. And I was like, I didn't mind putting you up in the first place, but this is getting ridiculous, where I'm just having to, drive her around, take her out, and all the fucking time. It's like, dude, I've got stuff to do myself. Families, God. Anyway, so she's disappearing next Thursday, so that's cool. I'm pretty stoked about that, actually. I sound ungrateful. I'm looking forward to her coming back, but now I'm like, I'm kind of glad she's going. So I don't know how you guys are going with your guests, if you had any guests over the holidays and stuff like that, or they stayed after New Year. Did anyone have any good New Year's? I didn't go out. I was just chilling. I just sat at home. Mainly because we live in an area where it's a bit crazy if you go out New Year's, because where I live is a town, which is a fairly large town. It's halfway between a city and a suburb, I guess. It's pretty big. But it's a mainly alcohol-based town. I've noticed that. There's a buttload of bars and things there. There is advertising for alcohol everywhere, like billboards, breweries, everything's microbrews, everything's pale ales and IPAs and shit like that. It is everywhere. It's pretty hipster, and it's a very touristy place, but at the same time, you go out New Year's Eve, you're going to risk getting your ass kicked by a drunk or sexually assaulted, or, and all you want to do is go out and see the fireworks, so we didn't bother going out. But there were several sets of fireworks, which was interesting enough. One on New Year's at midnight, one at 8, one a couple of days after that. There was one firework that went off. We weren't even sure if it was just one firework. It was just, some drunk letting one off. It's like, okay. Yay, that was a nice one. But, it was pretty chill. We just stayed at home. Ate some snacks. She's hoeing through my food. She's already started, rearranging things. My house is a tip. No, it's not. She's gone now. I cleaned it after she went. But, she'll be back like the Terminator. Ugh. Pubes everywhere. I can't do it, man. What woman at 35 has pubes? Seriously. It's fucking wrong. And you got all those feminists out there, maybe. I'm a feminist. Doesn't mean I'm disgusting. Fuck. I shaved that shit. I ain't seen my pubes since I was 16, dude. I knew as soon as I grew, I'm like, I don't like that. I'm getting rid of that. Same as I shave my legs. Shave my pits. I live in a hipster town with women with these massive armpit hair things. Looks like Jimi Hendrix in a headlock. That is absolutely fabulous quote, that. I will not take credit for that one. That is French and Saunders. I love those women. I'm pretty sure it was them. But, you can braid things in that armpit hair. It's disgusting. And the smell, my God. I mean, I can understand... Wow, this is getting to a really crass discussion. Sorry, guys. Turn off if you don't want to hear this. But I can understand why you would shave your pubes because of, the smell. If you're sitting in, and some women do, sit in blood and sweat when you're, menstruating and stuff like that, then it would make sense to shave it because it will get rid of some of the smell. Just like beards hold scents, so does that area. But I didn't like the idea of it. I'm probably messed up in the head more than I imagine. But straight up from 16, gone, not doing this. It looks gross, I'm not doing it. I don't like the texture, ew. I don't like the way it makes things smell, I don't like it. No, it's gross, it's manly. Is it manly? I don't know. If women are growing it, does it make it manly? Biologically, no. But that could be all down to, being conditioned to believe what femininity is being hairless, maybe. I don't know. Not entirely hairless, of course, because women still have hair naturally. We just don't have it in as density as men do, biologically speaking. I'm not talking about gender. I don't recognize gender, dude. It's too stupid these days to assign specific roles to a sex. It's like, no. You're not skating out on it that fast. Get out of it. So my next goals for when my guest leaves is to clear out my house a bit, because I haven't really been able to get into my New Year's resolutions as yet, because she's messed up my routine and my house is a tip. But I have got them, so my next podcast will be resolutions and things that I want to do. But I'm just clearing out my house when she goes. It's like, I've already got the system I want set up. I mean, she's costing me a fortune in just taking her out places as well. That's another thing that's got to go, because I'm still saving for my house, sort of thing. I've got the deposit, but at the same time I'm now creating a buffer, financial buffer, because I don't want to be out of pocket with like settlement fees and stuff like that, which is crazy, because I was on the site the other day, and when you apply for these mortgages and things like that, they sort of suck you in with, oh, you have the opportunity to borrow this much, and then you go, ooh, I did the calculator, great, so I'll go with that. That sounds like a great amount. And then they give you a second calculator, or they give you an email and say, we need your actual proper details with evidence now of what you do, and then it's like, oh, by the way, no, you're not going to be able to get that. You can only get this amount. And you go, oh, fuck, okay. All right, so change it up. So now I'm working towards creating a buffer, because the fees that they wanted, I have the deposit, but the fees they wanted to pile on top of it for, administration or settlement fees or anything like that is some other amount. It's about something like 20,000 more than I expected. They suck you in with that, oh, you only need a low deposit. And then on top of that, the house I want in the area I want is another, I want to say like 50 on top of that, because I want to make sure I get the house I want. Or rather, the apartment I want, which is safe, clean, and secure. I could get an apartment right now in a totally different area, which would be of that price range, but I'm like, that's not the area I want to live in. It's like, My original apartment I bought was in a decent retirement area, but it was run down and I did it up. I don't mind doing that again, but in the area I want to aim for. So I'm setting myself a challenge this year of volunteering to put myself back into poverty. Technically, I'm volunteering to do it. It's not a needed thing, and I always have backup. But this time I'm volunteering. I'm going hunting games on this. I volunteer! Just so I can make sure I get what I want in the end. So it's a bit of self-sacrifice there. And I'm going to do a podcast about, I think, self-sacrifice versus self-sabotage. So it's like, which is which? Because some days I'm looking at this going, this could very easily be misconstrued as self-sabotage. But I'm not going that way. It's definitely self-sacrifice, because I know that good will come out of it. Self-sabotage is where everything's gone tits up and it will fail. But you do it anyway, because it was easy at the time, or it was fun at the time. I will do a podcast on that. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the challenge. I fucking love a challenge, It's just another project to me. And I've already started since my younger sister went off to my older sister's house. So I'm chomping at the bit to get this shit really underway. It's proper Spartan, and I fucking love that shit. So I don't know why. A little bit self-sadistic, self-sadistic and masochist. I love putting myself in hard situations. I don't know, it's the challenge of it. Not that I'm afraid of losing or anything like that, or being harmed, because it's just shit I've grown up with. I lived in poverty when I was growing up, so it's no new experience for me. I've got better since I became a teacher, because the wage is all right, comparatively. But I'm fucking loving the idea of the challenge. I really am, because I want to test what I already know. And you feel like you've studied already. They're talking about these people that are getting fucked over financially in the UK, and I feel for them so much, because I came through that and I know what it is, where you go into food banks and you're living in poverty and things like that. and you can't have what you want or what you need, to be honest. Chopping and changing everything, you can't get stable is what it is. The fear of not being stable, the uncomfortableness, if that is a word. But this time I have a chance to actually understand a bit better what my parents went through on a adult level, and I'm challenging myself to do what they did, if not better. I want to see if I can, because I don't want to be conceited or something, but I don't have, or arrogant, but I don't have the liabilities that they had. I don't have 4 kids. I don't have a mortgage. I don't have, I do have a good job. I'm in an optimum position to get the most out of it. I still have a good job. I haven't got all the liabilities, and I am motivated to get this done. And I find it a really stimulating challenge to see what I can do to get the most out of everything at this point. And I'm going to come across as really fucking cheap at this point. People are going to be like, "You want to come up for coffee?" It's like, no, not unless you're paying, and stuff like that. I'm readying myself for that, for sounding like the real bastard. But nobody ever asks me out anymore anyway, so I don't care. I'm cool with that. Perks of being an introvert. So I'm looking forward to that. I like the fight. I do. It's in me and I hate it, but I love it, It's like I could make my life very, very easy, but I don't want to. There's something in the self-sabotage there, maybe. I don't know. But then again, I'm going to write down and record everything I do anyway, so I'm going to share some information. Hopefully I can help some people out there, and if they're unfortunately involuntarily going through the same experiences, I could give you some heads up or something like that. Ooh, pomegranate plant. Yoink. Sorry, I'm just seeing weird signs and synchronicities. I'm not mental. Yes, I am. Right, I'm going to have to leave it there. I will keep you updated with all the project of the forcing myself into poverty again. I'm excited. It sounds weird, doesn't it? But I love the fucking challenge. I'm going to do it. I hope you guys had a great New Year's and everything like that. I'm going to do another podcast on all those topics. I've got a whole list because I can't think straight and I'm old and I have to write things down. But I hope you have a great day so far. I'm going to do another one on the way home. I've just driven somewhere. I'm just donating some clothes to the Salvos at the moment. I hope you've done something just as wonderful. So, aren't we lovely? Aren't we great people? I'm clearing out my house generally. Don't ennoble this too much. Have a great one, guys. Take it easy, and I'll see you in the next podcast.